this situation that's going on with this particular convention, the Game and Geek Expo. It's going super viral right now because, once again, cancel culture is rearing its ugly head. There's a particular person that got canceled out of the event, was coming to the event, but because of the woke idiots crying and complaining, oh, now we got to cancel you. Sorry, sir, you can't come to the event. Even though you were already scheduled to come and you told all your peoples and all your fans, and now we got to cancel you. You know, and listen, man, this shit is getting out of control. I'm kind of tired of it. You know, as a person that actually likes conventions, I like going to conventions. You guys hear me talk about conventions a lot. All right, I go to a lot of conventions. Star Wars Celebration just came back from Japan. Went to Celebration. I go to Anime Matsuri pretty much every year, along with other little smaller conventions locally. All right, I'll be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. You know, there's a lot of things about the convention culture that I like. I like geeks and, you know, gamers and nerds and everybody kind of hanging out together, you know, enjoying what we all love. And I understand that there are going to be people that are at these conventions that don't necessarily rock with my social and cultural and political affiliations. And that's fine. All right. We're here to talk about gamer shit, geek shit, you know, nerd shit. That's what we're coming to this convention for. Not to sit up here and have political discourse and go over all the cultural this, that's, and the thirds. I'm not here for that. And I understand that. And most people that are watching probably understand that. But these cancel culture idiots don't seem to understand that. And we keep seeing it pop up. You guys might remember when Gina Carano was dealing with this, right? And it's always like this, right? Look, planned protest. This is back in 2024. Planned protest against Gina Carano for Fan Expo Vancouver exposed as just a handful of individuals. That's always the way it is. It's never this big public outcry. Oh my God, Gina Carano, ah! It's never that, all right? It's always just a handful of weirdos that want to cry and complain because Gina Carano is coming to Fan Expo Vancouver. And remember, like, Gina had like a line around the corner to go and check her out when she got there, all right? Fan Expo Vancouver said, nah, Gina's coming. You know, this little small group of people, this little contingent of assholes, they can kick rocks, all right? Go out there and complain and cry, get your protest signs, all right? Sign your petition and all that shit. Gina's coming anyway, and it was a great event, and nobody cared, all right? And so, like, yeah, these guys over here, man, over here at the Game and Geek Expo, they needed to learn that lesson. They probably should have learned it after watching what happened with Gina, but they didn't, and yeah, and they're finding out right now. And yeah, it involves this gentleman right here, Cody Dennison, who's a NASCAR driver. You can see he's affiliated with Camelcast. He's also a content creator. Yeah, so he posted this up on X in regards to this. This is his Twitter handle, Camelcast Official, all right? To all the people who bought tickets to come see me at the Game and Geek Expo, I have been kicked from the event. One of the vendors and photographers from the event said I am a Nazi, so I've been canceled from the show, all right? And then he posts up the email, basically, that he got here. Let's go ahead and read through this. So it says, yeah, hi, Cody. Thank you again for your interest in being a part of the Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate the time and effort you've put into your content and the support you've shown towards our event. After careful consideration, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement in this year's show. While we truly appreciate your recent efforts, including the removal of one of the flag videos, additional content has since surfaced that has raised continued concerns from our community, guests, and sponsors. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor and several other guest participants due to this situation, and it's beginning to negatively affect the overall perception and inclusivity of our event. Please understand this is not a reflection on you as a creator, but rather a necessary step to ensure we are maintaining a space that is welcoming, respectful, and positive for all attendees and partners. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech, but we also have a responsibility to our broader community. All right, so basically that's the email that he got. And they kind of make it sound like, yo, we don't really have any problem with you ourselves. Personally, we have no beef with you, you know, but you've ruffled some feathers and, you know, it's going to be a bad look if we allow you to come in here. That's all it is. You know, it's just a bad look on our part. And we hope that you understand. Our apologies. We know you put in a lot of effort, you know, and you've probably been advertised. Hey, guys, I'm going to be at the Game and Geek Expo. And he's probably done all of that work too, you know, bringing people in for outside their community and into their event. You know, he's probably done a lot of work to help promote this thing. So, yeah, it's kind of fucked up to all of a sudden pull the plug. I believe this event, yeah, it's dropping in 11 days. All right. June 7 and June 8th of this year. So yeah, it's like this thing is like 2 weeks out, and this guy probably got all of his plannings ready. He's ready to go. And then they're like, hey, sorry, you can't come because, you know, a couple of people had a problem with you. And again, I'm going to guarantee you it's not a whole lot of people. All right. And in Cody's own words, he said it was what? A vendor and a photographer, you know, one of the vendors and photographers from the event. So it's not a lot of people that are complaining. All right. A handful of people, exactly the same way it was with Gina Carano. All right. Just a couple of fools. But nevertheless, he's getting banned. He's getting canceled out. And so that brings us to this, all right? He posted this up. Here is the president of Raleigh Retro Gamers, that's the company that runs this convention, calling me after banning me as a celebrity guest from the Game and Geek Expo because I am problematic, all right? He posted this up. It's like a 28-minute conversation that he had. We're not going to listen to all 28 minutes of this. There's no way in hell of that. But he did post up a timestamp. He has like all of these various little timestamps right here of stuff to listen to. So we're going to pick it up right here at 6:15. So let's go ahead, jump over to that spot, and let's hear what they got to say.
Is, you know, people taking sides and like harping and going off about it. Like, I mean, it's exactly what you said, bro. Like they're fucking gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yep.
And I get that, and I totally get that. Like I get what you were saying. I get where you're coming from, man. Like I completely respect like your thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm not trying to say, oh, you're wrong or whatever. Like I don't want you to think that this is like an attack against you, or like obviously you don't care, but like you don't care what I think or what my opinion is. But that's why you have the followers that you have, because you have no filter. You just fucking tell it like it is. I get that, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the reason he has the followers he has is because he's authentic. That's basically what I hear the guy saying. Say, yeah, you keeps it 100. You're authentic. And honestly, this dude is coming off as inauthentic already, you know, because if you understand where he's coming from and you invited him to your event, then why are you letting some people talk you out of it? You know, unless you agree that, oh yeah, you're in the wrong, bro. You're 100% in the wrong. And he earlier in this says, no, I don't think you're in the wrong. You know, you have your opinion. You're entitled to your own opinions. So it's almost like he's trying to split the baby instead of just standing on business. I invited you to this event because I thought you belonged at this event. I wanted you to come to my event, you know, as a celebrity guest. You know, you wanted to come. I wanted you to come. Either way, a partnership was arranged. You're in. All right, cool. But now because of some squawking, I got to let you go. And it's like, so you ain't standing on business. You know, if you think that this guy is problematic, all right, for you, not for these convention goers, but for you, you know, then say that. Say, you know what? You're a problem. I don't like some of the things that you say. This isn't going to work out. You know, just say that out front. But see, if this guy doesn't believe that, then what's the problem? Oh, well, we got some people over here that's complaining. We got a photographer and some vendors. So what? So what? Me and you good, right? Yeah. Okay, then tell them to kick rocks. Stand on business like Vancouver did, all right? Vancouver said, whatever, handful of fools. We're not worried about it. Be here, don't be here. We're not tripping. Now, again, this is a smaller convention. Like Vancouver can probably absorb a lot of losses if people are walking away from the convention because of one single person. And maybe these guys can't. But look, let's let them keep talking.
But I'm just telling you, like man to man, like bro, like this is fucking everything that I put everything into this community, and when a big majority of it is like having issues, like that's when I'm trying to like look, dude, I don't go left, I don't go right. I'm agnostic to politics completely. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I really don't. I just want people to come to my fucking events.
Yeah.
And that's that. And Cody, I'm telling you, that's literally all I care about, bro. I just want them to come. Like our events are like, man, that's something that's kind of like something that we have here. Like people that would never hang out with each other are there.
Yeah, and so that's what all conventions should be. People that would never hang out with each other, they're all there, and everybody's having a good time. That's exactly what these conventions are meant to be. You know, but this guy is saying, well, you know, I don't got no problems. I ain't got no politics in the mix or whatever. I'm just here to set up gamers and geeks and have everybody have a great time. Well, that's what you should be doing then. All right. If this guy has a significant following and a lot of people are going to show up and watch or come to your event because of him, then you just got to let it ride. And, you know, if there's some people that ain't there, it's like, well, look, we're not telling you not to come, but we're not about to kick out this dude. We made a commitment to him. He committed to us. And so there it go. You know, 2 weeks out from the event and you're done? Nah, man, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. The reason that he's getting on the phone with him now is because it's become a big problem for him. And that's what he's stressing out about. He doesn't know which way to go. You cannot split the baby. You just got to tell him. Now, look, maybe next Game and Geek Expo, all right, bro, we got a lot of problems with this. We're not inviting you to the next one. All right. But as far as this one is concerned, you coming. You coming with my full blessing and all the support I can give you. Because that was the arrangement and the deal that we made. All right. This man ain't standing on business. And that's the biggest issue we got.
Again, bro, like, I no judgment to you at all. Like, I completely understand where you're coming from. But you, bro, you got a big voice and you have a huge following too. And I understand that as a content creator myself. But fuck, man, like, I want to find a way that, like, and dude, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to send you that fucking email, man. Like, I really didn't. Like, me and Chase, we were talking, like, when the first video, and you took it down, and thank you for that. Like, thank you. Like, you've been very fucking cool about all this shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. No other YouTuber or creator would do that shit. Would take a fucking video down. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, because I ain't taking shit down. If somebody said, hey, DA, we need you to take a video down, you know, it's like, nah, if I put it up, it's staying up. Straight up, baby. It's staying up. I ain't pulling shit down, especially for no goddamn convention. You know, I just won't be there, you know, or do what you got to do. But nah, like, this guy's been very, very respectful of these dudes. Oh, okay, you want me to pull a video down? It's starting to cause some trouble. Okay, you got it. No problem. I'll pull that video down. My apologies. I hope everything, you know, gets smoothed out from that. This dude is pulling videos down off of his channel or whatever he's working on. And these cats still sent him a cancellation. Man, fuck this shit, man. I'd have said, okay, that's what we doing. And see, that's why I don't know him. I don't know Cody, but in my opinion, like, that's why you make shit go viral. I pulled a video down, you know, which, you know, again, videos are money makers. That's my money. You know, even if it's a trickle, a drop in the bucket, a penny in the jar, it's still money. And I did it as a courtesy to y'all. And then y'all still cancel me? Man, get the fuck out of here. I would have been like, oh, I'm putting the video back up and I'm talking as much shit as I possibly can, which is probably why he's doing all the shit that he's doing right now. Anyway.
Yeah, well, Chase is my friend. That's the only reason I did it. There's no other reason. So.
No, 100%. Like, no one would do that at all. I totally get that. Like, fucking creators, they say what they say, and that's their content. I get where you're coming from, man. And you know, if there's any way for us to mitigate it, maybe we can't. Maybe we can't. I just wanted to call you man to man because I sent you that fucking email. And you posted it, and thank you for, like, blocking out Chase and my, like, contact information. I appreciate that. You know, but I just wanted to let you know, man, just man to man, like, if you want to stand on business like that, I get it. You know, as a man and as you know, your brand and your content, I get it. But
yeah, because you ain't standing on business, bro. You ain't standing on business. You invited this dude, or he signed up. I don't know how he got affiliated, but an arrangement was made, an agreement was made. And because of a couple of people whining, crying, bitching, and moaning, you decide to pull the plug on the whole arrangement. Not because he did anything to you. Not because you did anything to him. It's not between the two of you. There's a third party that has inserted themselves between y'all's relationship, and you like, okay, yeah, that's that. It is what it is. He's standing on business. You're not. That's the problem that this guy's got that maybe he's not seeing. All right. Stand on business. Say, hey, I had you coming to the event and you're still coming to the event. Maybe in Game and Geek Expo 26, you're not there. But in 25, in a couple of weeks, we expect to see you there. We're going to have a great time. You know, he should have got the message immediately. This whole phone call to me is already kind of pointless because he's just trying to talk his way out of it. Because obviously he's catching heat. So he's trying to talk his way out of the heat that he's catching instead of just saying, you know what, my apologies, you back in, bro. And I'm just going to tell them other cats, hey, it is what it is. We already had an arrangement. Sorry about that. Y'all can kick rocks. All right. Because we're not about to, I'm a man. Like he keeps saying, man to man. I'm a man and I'm going to live up to my word as a man, you know? Anyway.
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, I mean, when you say mitigate it, like what do you like? What's on your mind? Because I don't like. I already told you, like, I don't really know how we can mitigate other than like reversing the decision, telling the detractors to fuck off, and then post a statement saying you stand beside me. Other than that,
right.
That's not gonna it's not gonna do anything. But what are you thinking? Because I mean, you obviously are probably thinking something as well.
I mean, that's it. That's all you can do. All right, that's all you can do. Hey, tell them other dudes to kick rocks. He's back in. Sorry, our mistake. You know, we know that there's some people that might have a problem with Cody coming to the convention. But y'all just gonna have to understand that that's what it is. You know, and he's back in. We are looking forward to having an amazing event. I guarantee you, if he did that, this dude probably would get his respect levels would go up higher. Because he understood the error of his ways. He apologizes to the fans. He apologizes to Cody. And he says, you know what? That was my bad. And I'm bringing him back in. And that's that. That's what he should do. But he's not trying to do that. All right? You can tell he's not trying to do that. He just wants Cody to just kind of oh, well. All right. Sorry. I'll call off the dogs. You know, it's like, nah, bro. You ain't getting off that easy. That's not the way things work in 2025.
Well, if you have money invested, send me the fucking invoice. I'll pay it. I'll pay whatever. If you had stuff that you paid for, I'll send me the invoice. I'll fucking pay it. And I will stand by this. We will never say anything bad. We haven't mentioned anything about any of this controversy situation at all, and we won't. But like I said, I will reimburse you for anything that you've already paid. And
yeah, money ain't enough for me, man. I'm sorry, man. Money ain't enough. You can't buy me off, bro. You know, you can't buy me off. Even if I spent a ton of bread on it. You know what? I lost that money. I learned a lesson, though. I lost the money, but I learned a lesson. You know, who to deal with and who not to deal with. You know, get some shit anchored down or whatever. I don't know. It's crazy to me that this guy just doesn't see what he needs to do to make this situation right. He doesn't really care about making the situation right. That's how I look at it. All right. That's how I see it, because he's trying to just pay him off, buy him off, get him to agree to call off the dogs. All right. I'm pretty sure there's some backlash that's come for this. I haven't even looked into that yet, but I know that there was some backlash when this thing first dropped and a lot of people were talking about it and it was going viral. And so now we're getting the second half of this situation, hearing from the president, you know, but yeah, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, and this is the reason why this thing is blowing up in his face. As much as he says he understands, he doesn't.
I don't know what else to do to mitigate it. I mean, you tell me.
I mean that just sounds like fixing it for you, and then I just am fucked. I mean, that's what that sounds like, right? Like that's it. Yeah. What do I get out of this mitigation? Like, I mean, money's not a big deal for me. Like,
no, I get it. No, I get it. Well, money's a big deal for us because we don't have it.
Right.
So that's a big deal for us.
You see, he's the quiet part out loud, or maybe the loud part out loud. Basically, he's saying this is affecting his pockets. You know, it's starting to affect his pockets because there's backlash coming from this, and he's probably losing sponsors, or he's losing money. He's losing vendors. He's losing other people that were going to come to the event. Now they're saying, nope, we're not coming. He probably got a deluge of emails sitting in his email box right now, and that's the reason this phone call is happening.
But you're right. You already said it. I don't know, man. You tell me, bro. Like, how do we make this fucking right? Like, I
just told you.
Like, I'm trying to make it right, bro. I don't want to. Again, bro. I like, dude. I totally get it, man. I don't want to disrespect you or do anything. This is just the event as it is. Like, I don't know if you want to think about it and let me know, but I'm trying to make it right, bro. I don't want this to look and reflect like negatively on which it already is, and I get what you're saying,
yeah,
right. But like we're not calling out. We're not like, oh, fucking Cody's not.
Look, he trying to make it like, I don't want this to look bad on you, bro. Bro, it's looking bad on you. That's who it's looking bad on. It's not looking bad on Cody at all. It's looking bad on you. That's why you're calling him. All right. That's why this is all going down, because you look bad. All right. And it's bullshit. He's already told you what needs to happen.
There's no bad press on our end.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you send me an email that says, people aren't comfortable with me being there because of the overall perception and inclusivity of the event, which is weirdly ironic to me. I mean, that implies that I'm a bad person. I'm a bad vibe. I'm a bad aura, right? And that's where the issue lies. I mean, you say there's no negative press on your side, but I mean, the entire email is like, hey, you make people uncomfortable, which, to be fair, when you say stuff like that, it can mean some pretty fucked up stuff. So there's no...
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to think about it. This guy's a NASCAR driver. He has a brand to think of, too. It's not just this convention or whatever's going on here at the Game and Geek Expo. You know, it's also his brand himself. Again, this dude's a NASCAR driver. What else? Timcast, comedian. All right. He's got a pretty significant following. So it's not just one thing. You know, when you put somebody's information out there and you're saying, hey, this guy is problematic. Well, wait, what's problematic about him? All right. I've tried to look into whatever it is that he says, and maybe things have been erased or whatever. I have some information. It's not really even the point of the video. But at the end of the day, this guy, the president guy, trying to dance around this is not the move, right? Focus on making it right by saying, yo, I'm going to stand on business, and we're going to go ahead and bring you back in, bro. That's all it is. So I'm going to skip ahead to this next timestamp, pick up the conversation from here.
Your streams... Listen, this is the way I explain it to Chase. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you're left, if you're right. I do not care. If it's controversial, it's a problem, and that's where I'm hanging my hat on.
Right.
Like, it's controversial, dude. Like, I don't care what you fucking believe, dude. I really don't. Like, no, most people don't, right? Well, I'm not leaning like, oh, I'm letting some person persuade me into making this guest not come.
But that's literally what you're doing. You're literally letting somebody persuade you into telling him no. He says, I ain't got no problem. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not this. I'm not that. All right. But because you're controversial, your problems. Why are you worried about me being controversial if you ain't got a problem with me? If you don't have a problem with me and you brought me in knowing my past and knowing, look, I ain't just started up with this shit, right? Bro has been around for a minute. And if you know his get down and you know what he's all about and you invited him anyway, you clearly don't have a problem with it. Then what's the problem now? Well, somebody complained about him. And, I was losing vendors and this and that. And it's like, hey, it is what it is. You did your homework. You thought this guy would be great for your event, and now you're pulling the plug. It's bullshit. All right? He's rightfully getting called out for it.
But what happens is people take screenshots and people record little sections of things that you said in your stream, which, again, you're totally cool. I don't give a fuck what you say on your streams. That's you and your brand. I do not care. But you're associated with my event. So when you say that, it has effects, and I sent you that email. I have not publicly said anything about you,
right,
at all. You dropped my name in your Twitter, my fucking name, my full name, in your Twitter, and you're bashing my event, bro. And like that's where I'm having issue. You were a guest. You were invited as a guest, and things came out, and then people started having issues with certain parts of your content. I literally we were sending people messages like, oh, he's a good person. He took the video down. It's all good. Like, we were in good intention.
So if all of that's the case, why are you listening to these yuckleheads? You like this dude. You believe in him. And like he just said, man, people will take little sound bites and little clips and little this and that, and they'll try to drum up some issue with it. Because maybe they don't like him, maybe don't like Timcast, or maybe they don't like some of his comedy. I don't know. All All right, maybe they think he sucks as a NASCAR driver. I don't know. Maybe they lost money on a race. I don't know. But all of a sudden now, all of these people are getting you to change your mind off of your beliefs. All right, that's weak. That's weak. If you said, hey, man, I like this guy. We've been telling him, nope, he's a good dude. He's cool. We like him. Again, stand on that. Stand on that business. That's what you're saying. You're literally saying this guy is cool, but now he's banned from our event. We don't want him here. Well, wait a minute. I thought he was cool. Well, some stuff came out. Whoa. Is he cool or not? Again, we understand you can lose the game of soundbite chicken sometimes. That shit does happen. You say something, people clip it, they take it out of context, they drop it online. All of a sudden, everybody's trying to cancel you. But you should be standing 10 toes down for your boy. You believe in him. You said this guy is cool. He's at our event. He's coming to our event. We invited him to the event. This is our guy. He literally just said, we invited him to the event and he's good. So why are you backpedaling on that now? And then going to try to sit up here and pay him off and say, well, we understand and we're really not affiliated and political and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, hey, just let it go. Nah, I wouldn't let it go either. I would not let this shit go because, again, his brand is on the line. His name is on the line just as much. And now he's mad. Oh, man, you bad-mouthing us, you know, out here. And I never said nothing about you. Yeah, but this shit gets out. Like the fact that he's not coming to the event, people are going to find out. If all of a sudden he's gone, the first question is why? Why is he gone? What happened? What went down? And the word's going to get out there. So if either now or later somebody was going to find out, oh, yeah, this is the reason why Cody ain't coming to the event, to Game and Geek. All right, this is the reason why.
At the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to have any guest that's controversial. That's not good for business. At the end of the day, like that might be like what's good for your niche, but it's not good for ours because we have to have everyone to come to our show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the caveat to that is you can Google every single guest you have that has any kind of following, and you can take an out of context thing they say or a screenshot from a post they had 5 years ago, and you could make them controversial, just like those people complaining made me controversial by taking, you know, small clips where I said ass to mouth or something and getting me removed from a convention, right? You can do that to anybody you want. Like
facts. That's absolute fact, man. That's exactly what happened to him. What if a group of people start clipping up some of the other event guests? They start clipping things that they said, take it all out of context, throw it out there. Hey, man, we want this person canceled from the event. Are you going to do it? All right. Are you going to do it? Eventually, at some point in time, you got to stop bending the knee to the mob. You keep bending the knee to the mob. You keep folding to the mob, and the mob understands, cool, we got this Game and Geek Expo right where we want them. And we're going to keep on doing this. We're going to keep on getting people canceled. You know, until we got a perfect event just for our liking. It's stupid. Tell these people no. Those are the people, honestly, the people that would do some silly shit like that. These are people you don't want at your event. You want these people as far away from your event as humanly possible. They're just going to come in there and wreck shop. They're going to fuck the game up. Don't do it, man. Just keep those people away. That's the thing, I guess. I don't know, man. I get it. Maybe this guy just don't get it. And Cody gets it. And a lot of y'all get it, but this guy, he clearly don't get it.
So setting the precedent is, as soon as you let this happen, which has already happened, these people that did that were like, well, if I ever have a problem with a guest ever, I can just go to their Twitter and find the first out of context thing and just get them removed from the con. Right?
I 100% agree with that, dude. But like, you literally posted something 2 days ago, fucking like talking mad shit about the cosplay community. Like, that's not the same thing, bro. Like you're dropping the con that you're coming to, but you're bashing 30% of the people that are coming. But we promoted you as a guest, and what happened was like our community was like, oh, who's this Cody person? And they went and looked at your stuff, and then they were like, the first couple of videos that they found were like super controversial, and they were like, holy shit, what the fuck? And again, it's not just like one person, bro. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. Like I was keeping you coming. Like it was all good. We were trying to put out the fires. And again, thank you for taking down that other video. But what you just said, you're like, oh, you can go find some dirt on anybody. It's not like go find dirt. It's like you literally just posted shit that our people are going and looking at because you were a guest. Again, I'm not telling you to anything about like what you do. Obviously, you are doing very well for yourself, and that's why we wanted to have you on, man. Like that's really why we wanted to have you on, is because like you do have a big following. You are in NASCAR. You are all these things that we wanted for the event. And again, no fucking hard feelings on my end at all. It is not personal at all, dude. I'm literally just saying I'm gonna lose my fucking house if I don't. I'm joking when I say that, but
no, he's not. Yeah, I don't think he's joking at all. All right, he's trying to throw some red meat in there. I don't think this cat was joking about that whatsoever. I just don't think he was joking. Look, he said a lot right there in regards to, the cosplay community. It seems like the cosplay community is having a problem with him. And yeah, if you're going to a convention and the cosplay community is mad and upset about it or whatever, yeah, then that's going to be an issue. Once again, you tell the cosplay community, hey, everybody, look, we got a guy coming here. A lot of you guys may not rock with. You can stay away from his booth. You don't have to go to his booth. Okay. But he's still coming because, we made an agreement. We made an arrangement. We promised him, and it's too late to pull the plug at this point. We do apologize if this guy, ruffles some of your feathers. All right. We'll try to see if he could come out and give some sort of a public endorsement for cosplayers or apologize or whatever. Say, haha, it was just content. I didn't mean it or whatever, And it looks like he pulled the video down, like he said that, was the controversial thing. So, if they ain't going to accept that, it is what it is, But like he says, you're going to eventually run into the same problem again. Where, oh, I don't like this guy for whatever reason. All right. So we're going to make you take him out of the show. We're going to cause some controversy. We're going to find some clips, some posts, and we're going to put them up there. And now you got to get rid of this person, too. And now the inmates are running the asylum. You can't allow that shit to go down, man. You just can't. So, yeah, we heard enough to kind of get the gist of what happened here in that conversation. He already said, hey, contact them here for your refunds, man. So he posts up their shit and it says, yeah, you might want to go ahead and get your refund from these dudes. And look, everybody's responding to this, man. Quarter Black Garrett, so inclusive to exclude people. Exactly. Kata said, what the actual hell? Master of the TDS, this is messed up, especially like 2 weeks before the event. Facts, man. That's the real problem. You talking about this literally is like, this guy's probably, all right, if he got to fly out, he's getting his plane reservations made and he's figuring that stuff out. He's starting to think, all right, what do I need to pack? Let me make sure that all of my stuff is ready for my booth, for the panel or whatever it is that I'm doing. He's literally in the process, if he hasn't already started that, of getting all of that stuff together. So he's there on June 7 when it's all going down. And, oh, no, sorry, you're not coming. That's absolutely wild, man. John Della Rose, this is evil and needs to stop. How are conventions still doing this in 2025? You would have thought they learned their lesson from Gina. You would have thought they learned their lesson from the Gina shit with Vancouver. Just stop letting these cats get all up in your grill and tell you what the hell is going on, man. Tell them no. He's still coming. Sorry you're unhappy about it, in the nicest way possible, respectfully. But no, he's still going to be here. All right, just let them know and that's it. Nina Infinity, wow, what the fuck, man? How awful. This is so stupid. I see cancel culture is still alive and well. It really is, man. Anime guy, put boots to him, fuck him. Flash, what the fuck? Stephanie, ridiculous. Everybody basically is coming out saying this is utter trash, all right? Everybody's coming out and saying this is utter trash. Community guests and sponsors, aka one sponsor with a blue hair, making the decision sad. It was one person who was spam emailing everyone trying to get me canceled. Unfortunately, the guy in charge listened. Of course, after I spent all my money and promoted the show. Convenient. Yeah, that's the fucked up part. Like when you go out there and promote somebody's show and you do some heavy work, all right, to help get people to come into this person's show and now it's getting canceled. Bullshit. All right. Utter fucking bullshit. We need our own cons. All right. I've been saying this for a long time. We need our own cons, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, what do y'all think about this situation, man? I feel like the president just needs to man up and just say, all right, bro, I made an agreement with you, and whether or not you said some shit, if I have no problem with you, like he kept saying, I have no problem with you, then you just got to let it ride. And maybe next year he's not invited or whatever. But if he's invited this year and it's a couple of weeks out, like we're not talking like, okay, we invited you and then like, you know, a year away from the event. All right, man, look, you said some stuff. People started talking. You're not invited anymore for an event that's a year away. All right, maybe. But for an event that's literally like coming up in a couple of weeks, you can't pull that kind of bullshit. You can't do that, man. That's messed up. That is trash. Look, this person says exactly what I've been saying this whole video. He says, as a man, but he is guilting you like a pissy girlfriend. The mitigation would be to apologize and allow you back into the con. Facts. He said, I said that, yeah, make a public statement denouncing cancel culture. Say you stand with me. Pay me. Denounce detractors. If you're inclusive, be inclusive. He wasn't about that life. This person, look, I'm a leftist. I even voted for Carney while in Canada. Sorry. I listen to your podcast regularly, and I just don't see the outrage. I love your common sense takes, and I think more people need to listen to the regular opinions of people on the other side to regulate them. Like, honestly, you know, a person like this that has that kind of, like, hardcore controversy, apparently controversy. Again, I've never listened to any of his podcasts. I've heard of him, but I haven't listened to his podcast. Honestly, we need people of both sides, you know, in this quote unquote cultural space, in this culture war. We need people to kind of start meeting up together at conventions and meet people in real life and say, hey, man, look, I'm not all that bad. I'm just a regular dude just like you. All right. You know, we might have differences of opinions on how things should run, but for the most part, I probably agree, and I probably would rock with a lot of folks, especially over geeky and nerd shit. Like, especially when it comes to that. I'm probably not ever going to want to talk. Look, man, I ain't here to talk about my political opinions or whatever. Let's talk about Voltron. Let's talk about, you know, anime. Let's talk about Star Wars. Let's talk about Marvel. Let's talk about all the stuff that we like, because that's what we came here to do. You know, that's how I would be if I ran into anybody. Look, man, I ain't here to hear about your social, political, cultural conversations and opinions. I just want to talk about, you know, My Hero Academia or something like that, you know, because that's what we love. You know, and that's why I like going to conventions. But yeah, this kind of stuff, it just puts a sour note on conventions. I hope this guy, you know, figures it out. I hope that they invite him back and they square this up with him, because, you know, they really need to. Honestly, man, do the right thing. Whoever it is over there at Game